Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, citizens of all ages, welcome to what is perhaps a blue fucking moon in Star Citizen. So I say that because if you move your eyes on up to the frame counter in the upper right corner, you will see it is hovering right around 30, which is, in my opinion, fucking awesome at the moment, because it's actually running. And it's above 20, and that's all that I care about. So, some news coming out of the world of Star Citizen today. CIG is being sued. By, of all people, fucking CryTek. Sorry, took my my Mountain Dew break a little early today. So, I looked over the brief really quickly. I just wanted to see, you know, what the main claims are of the plaintiff, CryTek. Now, CryTek said that CIG had entered in a GLA, which is a games licensing agreement, with CryTek, in that they would license CryEngine to CIG to create one game. Now, back in 2015, keep in mind, when CIG then stated that Star Citizen was being broken up into two games, Squadron 42 and Star Citizen, that in and of itself technically kind of went against the GLA. CryTek is also stating that they are, what was it, missing out on, I think it was 25,000, excuse me, or $75,000 worth of revenue. And I find that a little ironic considering they were on the verge of bankruptcy. And then Amazon bought CryTek and then turned CryEngine into Amazon's lumberyard. So I'm at a bit of a logical crossroads. So technically, if you want to think of it, CIG did kind of go against it if they did split it up into two games, which they did, and they're charging separately for it. But at the same time, CryTek was absorbed by Amazon, and Amazon took CryEngine and basically molded it into a lumberyard. So it kind of seems, in my opinion, a little backwards that they're being sued, because you would think, given that they were pulled in, let me rephrase that, given that CryEngine, or CryTek, I should say, was absorbed by Amazon, then they went ahead and licensed their CryTek lumberyard hybrid. I mean, it seems like that would still fall in line, and with the new agreement, that should, in my opinion, I mean, I haven't looked at the lumberyard agreement, but you would think moving to lumberyard would have some sort of clause in it, given that it is of the same base, and by that I mean CryEngine and lumberyard. So I don't know if maybe somebody at CryTek just wasn't informed, or it's very possible that CIG has in fact gone against the game licensing agreement. Now, what does that mean for Star Citizen? A couple things. One, if you're freaking out about it and you're really worried about the state of the game, me personally, I would say don't get too worried, because really, from what I see, the only thing that's really going to happen is CIG might just have to pay out, you know, a couple tens of thousands of dollars, which I think they can afford it at this point. I foresee it either being thrown out or being settled out of court. I don't foresee this, you know, dragging on and becoming too much of a detriment to the project in and of itself. I mean, it's CIG we're talking about here. I mean, hell, what they made in just one day of the anniversary sale, they could probably pay out that 75 thou, and that's at the high end. Let's just use 75 thou as the goal of reparations that they wish. They could easily get that 75K with having little to no impact to their real bottom line. Now, if they were to settle out of court, I'd have to assume that maybe a new agreement might be drafted, or they might just jump ship and just go straight lumberyard. But then that doesn't make sense also, because, again, going back to the previous example, Amazon owns CryTek. CryTek owns CryEngine. Amazon took CryEngine, which what they owned, and made it into lumberyard. So I'm a little confused as to what exactly the full issue is, because it seems to me like CryTek should be getting their just due regardless, whether it be through Amazon and lumberyard or through the original GLA, or even a combination of the two, which I think is a little bit more accurate. Again, I only looked at the briefly. I looked at it briefly in that I wanted to just have a little bit of background. Oh shit. So that way I could at least talk about it a little bit. And it seems like that's the main complaint, is that they feel they were Jewed out of a little bit of money, for lack of a better term. Oh, and I'm spinning wildly. When, I don't know, it doesn't really make sense to me. It seems, maybe I need to go back, read the lawsuit in a little bit more detail, but it really seems to me like it's either going to be thrown out or settled out of court. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. The game is definitely not in jeopardy. They've got a agreement with Amazon for lumberyard, so they've got an engine no matter what. And really, I'm kind of hoping they jump ship with this engine. I feel like they made a huge mistake going to lumberyard. Let me rephrase that. I don't think CryEngine was the best engine to use. Yeah, it looks good, but you know what else looks good? Unreal 4. I feel like, you know, they could have easily gone Unreal and probably had a nicer looking product and a smoother running product. You know, given, I don't know, I mean, I guess hindsight is 20/20, just like with any and everything. But me personally, I was actually thinking about this for past couple of days or so before I even knew about this lawsuit, but I was thinking, you know, they really need to, I think they either need to build a new engine that's compatible so they can just port everything over, or get a new engine and start building everything into it. I understand that's going to add a lot of time back onto the project, but with the way that the current engine is set up, it seems like this is not a good engine for what they're looking to achieve. Now, who knows? Maybe I'm in the minority. Maybe that's just me. Maybe they've got some awesome, you know, fixes and optimizations that are in the pipeline, and they're fast approaching. I can only hope, as well, I mean, this current play right now, it seems to be, you know, it's definitely running smooth. I'm able to do some combat. I don't feel as though I'm, you know, completely screwed, in that my movements aren't being ignored. I mean, the ESP seems to be a little messed up, but I can deal with that. Really, it's just jumping position As long as it stays in the relative position, I should be okay. Missiles don't seem to be working, though, which kind of sucks. But, yeah, I don't know. I think that we don't have to worry. I think that it's going to blow over eventually, and really, it's just a matter of a couple $1,000s. Well, at least according, you know, for CIG's wallet, you know, it'd be like a couple thousand comparatively. And again, with the anniversary sale really just freshly over, I don't think they're gonna have a hard time. But what do you guys think of the lawsuit? What do you think that means for CIG? What do you think that means for the game? I want to know your comments. I want to know your concerns. Oh, I almost got him. I, for one, was really worried when I first heard about it, but then I thought about it, and it was like, dude, they're making so much bank, I don't think we really have to even worry. Again, as they are owned by Amazon, and Amazon has essentially licensed this lumberyard to CIG to be used for Star Citizen and Squadron 42. So I'm hoping to hear a little bit more of that sooner rather than later. CIG is usually pretty good about coming out with something within a couple of days of there being a huge rigmarole. So I'm expecting to hear their response within about a day, maybe two. But if we don't hear anything within a couple of days, then I might be worried. Fuck this. Alright, I'm done. I don't even give a shit. I need to go to fucking CryAstro. Fuck M50 pirates. Fuck them in the face with a hammer on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Fuck M50s. God damn it. Fucking. Oh, it pissed me the fuck off. Fucking hate them. Okay. Back to my original point. So yeah, we're just going to have to see, you know, in the coming days, what comes about it, how they're going to, you know, I kind of don't even think they really have a case, to be honest. And that's the thing. Like I said, when I first saw that, it got me worried. I was like, oh no, this is terrible news. And I started to sweat because I was like, dude, I'm a concierge. I'm in this for so much. What am I going to do? And then I stopped and I'm like, well, wait a minute. What the shit? And then I'm like, well, wait a minute. You know, they're... What the fuck? How did that give me a crime stat?
Forward proximity alert.
I landed and I got a crime stat. I don't have to call CryAstro. Yeah, no, because I'm fairly certain. Oh. Whoa. So yeah, that's basically my thoughts on this whole lawsuit thing that came out. I wouldn't be too worried. You shouldn't either. You know, give it a few days. Worst case scenario, they're going to have to pay a little bit of a fine. And other than that, I think that's it. So I think I'm going to leave this crazy-ass video here. And, yeah, if you like the video, leave a like on the video. If you've got any... This is too funny. If you have any suggestions for any upcoming episodes, let me know. Leave them down below. And yeah, so thank you for watching. Alright, well, I'm going to leave the video here. All you beautiful bastards out there, you have yourselves a wonderful day. This has been Will. Peace. Hello, citizens. So, I was just about to finish uploading this video when I came across the following. Now, in relation to the lawsuit that is ongoing, it seems as though what is exactly being cited is the following. CIG promised, among other things, to use the CryEngine game development platform exclusively and to promote that platform within the video game, number 1. Article number 2, to collaborate with CryTek on CryEngine development, and Article 3, to take a number of steps to ensure that CryTek's intellectual property was protected. According to the lawsuit, CIG utterly failed to follow through on those promises, and their actions and omissions constitute breaches of contract and copyright infringement and have caused substantial harm to CryTek. Now, I've heard a couple extra things about this now, and they're actually outlined right about here. They also allege that CIG used CryTek's engine for 2 games instead of the singular, which in this case they're citing Squadron 42, failed to collaborate, and shared CryTek's code with other parties, breaking confidentiality agreements. Those other parties, according to the lawsuit, include a series of public videos called Bug Smashers and a third-party technology company called Faceware. Now that's intriguing. Now, Bug Smashers is their in-house, bug smashing video platform. Well, video show. I don't know. Yeah. And they don't really show the source code. It seems like they're more showing, the additions and things that CIG has done, at least from what I've seen and can tell. Now, with Faceware, that could be a whole nother thing. I'm sure they had to share some sort or some portion of the source code to Faceware so they could get it to work harmoniously. Unless maybe Faceware created like an add-on that they could then kind of manipulate and plug in themselves. Now here's where it's interesting. When asked, CIG sent over a statement stating, "We are aware of the CryTek complaint having been filed in the U.S. District Court. CIG hasn't used the CryEngine for quite some time since we switched to Amazon's Lumberyard. This is a meritless lawsuit that we will defend vigorously against, including recovering from CryTek any costs incurred in this matter." Now right there, I think they might have just incriminated themselves, because according to the GLA, it said that they would exclusively use CryEngine, and another complaint was that CryEngine wasn't plastered all over the fucking game with watermarks. I guess that's another avenue that they were really sore about. So, I mean, just reading this at face value, although there might be a slight case, given they didn't use CryEngine exclusively, depending on how that contract is worded and depending on how the agreement is worded with Amazon to use the CryEngine developed Lumberyard, this could actually be baseless, meritless, as CIG said, and could be completely thrown out. If you want to see the whole lawsuit, what I'll do is I'm going to share, let's see, can I do it like this? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the alright, let's retry that. So if you want to see the whole lawsuit, I'm going to put it in the description I'm also going to put this article from Kotaku in the description, so that way you can go back and check it out. So other than that, I just wanted to throw in those last couple of pieces, because I know especially at the end of the video I started to get off track as normal, and was just kind of stating the same thing over and over again, so wanted to go into a little bit more clarification, as well as take a moment to show you this, as this is something that I just came across right as I was about to upload the video. So, as they say, you know, second time round, thank you very much for watching. All you beautiful bastards out there, have a wonderful day. This has been Will. Peace.